So now we're having our 210 at the other side of our equation. But now we have 78 minus 210. You know why? 210 was positive over here. So now it has jumped over the equality sign and it's now what's being subtracted by another number here. Okay, so now we have minus 12y minus 10y is equal to 78 minus 210. 210. Okay, so go ahead now. Your minus 10y minus 12y is going to give you what? Minus 22. Minus 10 minus 12 is minus 22. So now you have minus 10y minus 12y is minus 22y. So you're left with minus 22y at this side of the equation. Now let's go to the other side. Here we have 78 minus 210. Now 78 is a smaller number. 210 is a bigger number. So you're subtracting 78 from, you're subtracting 210 from 78. It's not possible if you look at it the right sense, right? So what are you supposed to do? I've told you this before. First of all, when you're subtracting a smaller number from a bigger number, a bigger negative number, what you're expected to do is to do the normal subtraction, subtract that a small number from the big number, then you add the negative sign. So it's more or less like us saying, subtract your 78 from 210. Now, after you're done with that, you get a number, but you are going to put your negative sign because it was a smaller number that was subtracting a bigger number. If it were 210 minus 78, there will be no issues and our sign will not show. It will just be positive. But in this case, we have a smaller number subtracting a bigger number, which in this case is 210. So you have 78 minus 210. Now, if you subtract 210 from 78, you have minus 132. So our equation will now look like this. Minus 22y is equal to minus 132. Yes. Okay. I have told you, when you have something like this, the number with the unknown is known as a coefficient. What do you do to the coefficient? You have to get rid of the coefficient for you to find the unknown. To do that, you have to divide both sides. Both sides. In any case, at any point in time that you find a situation like this in mathematics, don't forget that I said that you must divide both sides by the coefficient. You have to leave the unknown alone, and you have to make sure the number that is serving as the coefficient leaves the unknown. And the only way you can achieve that is by dividing both sides by the coefficient. In this case, the coefficient is what? Minus 22. So you divide both sides by minus 22. You don't rush. That's why I told you to learn your tables. Note your tables, very important. If you divide both sides, 11, for instance, can go into 22, and 11 can actually go into 132. 11 times 12 will give 132. 11 times 2 is going to give you 22. So don't rush. If you divide both sides by 11, for instance, you're going to have minus 2y here, because minus 22 over 11 will give you minus 2y. Why are we using 11? We are looking for a way to reduce the numbers on both sides in order for us to find our final answer. And so we just thought of using 11 because 11 can actually go into both numbers. Yeah. So To divide 132 by 11, you're going to get what? 12, because 11 times 12 is going to give you 132. So now if you do that now, what are you having? You have minus 2y on this side, and then you have this other side, you're having your minus 12. So at this point, you're not done yet. So divide both sides by minus 2. What we've simply done is to reduce it. These are steps in mathematics that you can actually solve and follow to actually get your final answer. It's possible for you to divide both sides by 22, but in any case, you can always break the numbers down. You can also use 2 to break it down, right? Okay. So at this point now, we're dividing both sides. So we'll divide both sides by minus 2 now, because minus 2 is now the coefficient that's reduced. All right, from minus 22 to minus 2, because of the introduction of 11 that we use to divide both sides. Remember, whatever you do to this side of the equation, you must do to this side of the equation. Whatever number you're using to divide this side, you must divide the other side. So now we have minus 2y here, and here we have minus 12. If you divide both sides by minus 2, here your minus 2y will cancel minus 2 and you're left with y. And here your minus 12 will be divided by minus 2. Minus will cancel minus, and your 12 divided by 2 will give you 6. So it means your y is 6. Simple. Now we have found our y. We know our y. Because of this now, we have the assurance. We have that assurance that we are going to be able to find our x. And I've told you before, I told you that we should use our substitution equation. Now note this, you can use any equation to find x. Yes, even at this point, you can even use equation 2 to find x. You can use equation 1 to find x. But substitution equation is